As he came near the hotel, Franz saw a man in the middle of the street. He had no doubt that it was the messenger from Albert. The man was wrapped up in a large cloak. He went up to him, but, to his extreme astonishment, the stranger first addressed him. "What wants your Excellency of me?" inquired the man, retreating a step or two, as if to keep on his guard. "Are not you the person who brought me a letter," inquired Franz, "from the Viscount of Mercer?" "Your Excellency lodges at Pastrini's hotel?" "I do. Your Excellency is the traveling companion of the Viscount?" "I am." "Your Excellency's name?" "Is the Baron Franz d'Epinay?" "Then it is to your Excellency that this letter is addressed." "Is there any answer?" inquired Franz, taking the letter from him. "Yes, your friend at least hopes so." "Come upstairs with me, and I will give it to you." "I prefer waiting here," said the messenger, with a smile. "And why?" "Your Excellency will know when you have read the letter." "Shall I find you here, then?" "Certainly." Franz entered the hotel. On the staircase he met Signor Pastrini. "Well?" said the landlord. "Well, what?" responded Franz. "You have seen the man who desired to speak with you from your friend?" he asked of Franz. "Yes, I have seen him," he replied, "and he has handed this letter to me." "Light the candles in my apartment, if you please." The innkeeper gave orders to a servant to go before Franz with a light. The young man had found Signor Pastrini looking very much alarmed, and this had only made him the more anxious to read Albert's letter, and so he went instantly towards the waxlight, and unfolded it. It was written and signed by Albert. Franz read it twice before he could comprehend what it contained. It was thus worded: "My dear fellow, the moment you have received this, have the kindness to take the letter of credit from my pocketbook, which you will find in the square drawer of the secretary, add your own to it, if it be not sufficient. Run to Terlonia, draw from him instantly 4,000 piasters, and give them to the bearer." It is urgent that I should have this money without delay. I do not say more, relying on you as you may rely on me. Your friend, Albert de Mercer. P.S. I now believe in Italian banditti. Below these lines were written, in a strange hand, the following in Italian. Se alle 6 della mattina le 4 mille piastre non sono nel mia mani, alla 7 il cane Alberto avrà cessato di vivere. Luigi Vampa. If by 6 in the morning the 4,000 piastres are not in my hands, by 7 o'clock the Count Albert will have ceased to live. This second signature explained everything to Franz, who now understood the objection of the messenger to coming up into the apartment. The street was safer for him. Albert, then, had fallen into the hands of the famous bandit chief, in whose existence he had for so long a time refused to believe. There was no time to lose. He hastened to open the secretary, and found the pocketbook in the drawer, and in it the letter of credit. There were in all 6,000 piastres, but of these 6,000 Albert had already expended 3,000. As to Franz, he had no letter of credit, as he lived at Florence, and had only come to Rome to pass 7 or 8 days. He had brought but 100 louis, and of these he had not more than 50 left. Thus 700 or 800 piastres were wanting to them both to make up the sum that Albert required. True, he might in such a case rely on the kindness of Signor Torlonia. He was, therefore, about to return to the Palazzo Bracciano without loss of time, when suddenly a luminous idea crossed his mind. He remembered the Count of Monte Cristo. Franz was about to ring for Signor Pastrini, when that worthy presented himself. "My dear sir," he said, hastily, "do you know if the Count is within?" "Yes, Your Excellency, he has this moment returned." "Is he in bed?" "I should say no." "Then ring at his door, if you please, and request him to be so kind as to give me an audience." Signor Pastrini did as he was desired, and returning 5 minutes after, he said, "The Count awaits Your Excellency." Franz went along the corridor, and a servant introduced him to the Count. He was in a small room which Franz had not yet seen, and which was surrounded with divans. The Count came towards him. "Well, what good wind blows you hither at this hour?" said he. "Have you come to sup with me?" "It would be very kind of you,"